Wow. I can't believe it. By the way, thank you. Thank you, UK. Thank you for inviting me. My name is Ming Iu from Canada, Royal Master, Royal Leaders Cup. Thank you first. I want to thank you all for coming. It's great because by coming here, it's a sign of success, okay? And then secondly, I want to thank all the great speakers. I got to say this. They're every single one of you, MC, and all the speakers, excellent, good job. You guys did great. So let's give them a hand of applause. And let's also give Atomy UK and the staff, let's give them another hand of applause too. You know, you guys already saw part 1, right? Was it 2 years ago? Rebecca came? That was part 1. So now you guys get to see part 2. Yeah. A lot of people always ask me, like, who's this guy? Like, who's this Ming guy? And, you know, he's on YouTube, and there's a lot of videos about him sharing Atomy. Today, I'm going to share to you the reason why I actually entered the Atomy world. I'm a typical business person. In Vancouver, I not raised there, wasn't born there, but I lived in Vancouver, Canada for 48 years. So it's not a small amount of years. Yeah, probably going to guess how old I am, right? 20, oh, you got it right. I wish I was like Eddie, I had a prize for you. So, you know, living in Canada that long, you know, I always think like Canada is one of the best places. You know, I'm wrong. You know, Atomy gave me something totally different. I got to travel. And today when I show you my presentation, I really got to travel far. Just like today, I'm here in London, UK. And you guys have a wonderful place here. I didn't get to see too much yet, but you know, on the car ride, walking around, I got to see a lot. This is an amazing place. Like time stood still. You know, when you travel, you always see things get demolished, right? Nothing's kept, there's no history. But here it's amazing, look at the brickwork. Even this hall, when she told me we were doing it in a hall, I was going, oh great, I get to see something, you know, unique. Usually a hotel, it just looks fancy, right? But here, there's a lot more than just the history. I'm telling you guys this, there's a lot of energy here. And by sitting here and doing the presentation, not only me, but I feel happier, but I feel that previously there's a lot of events that happen here. All that's going to pass to you guys too. So let me start with the presentation so you have an idea. Today, the presentation is about vision. So like many of us, how many of you guys need glasses? Raise your hands. Okay. And how many of you don't need glasses? Oh, wow. Not that many. But you know what? We all need glasses. Because we're living in a world that's tainted us, am I correct? Especially the internet. Every day we get affected by it. And what happens to us? So our vision's not there. And like many of us, we can't focus on our vision. It's very hard. Even like myself. I've been in the working world for a long time, not a small amount of years. I started working when I was 7.5 in Canada, right when we got immigrated. I worked in our family business. It was hard because when my parents immigrated to Canada, it was in the 1970s, and there was no job. So the only thing is, you know, typical open restaurant, right? I think you guys know about that history, right? And to survive. And I worked in the back. I was flipping hamburgers at age 7.5. By the way, I don't know if is there a child rule here for working? There is, right? Whoops. Oh, you know what? In the 1970s, there's no such rule. You're allowed to work. Yeah. So I worked there for a while, and then I told my father, I go, you know, Dad, I need some money. And you know what my father said to me? He goes, we don't have any. You know, I can't pay you a wage. I can't give you a little bit of allowance. We just didn't have anything. So then I told my dad, I go, Dad, is it okay if I maybe go get a job? And that was when I was 8.5. My dad said no. What do you guys think I did? Let's have a vote. What do you guys think I did? Yeah, I didn't listen to my dad. No. Actually, I tell you this, the funny story is my dad's a pretty strict guy. He is. He's got some accounting background, and they're always very focused. So he had a lot of family rules. I'm not the first one. I'm number 3. There's 4 of us. So, we tend to have to follow the first 2 siblings, right? My first 2 siblings, they're very smart in school. So my father had, of course, more expectation for the third one, right? And I actually didn't like school. That's the funny story. And I just like to always go around. So I started looking for a job. I got my job. I actually got 3 jobs by the age of 9. Yeah, because I knew I need to make money to fund my hobbies. Or, I like going to, back then, do you guys have those stores that's open 24 hours? Like a 7-Eleven, it's called in Canada? Yeah, there was those back then, and that's what I needed. So, you see, when we need money, what do? You go get it, okay? And I know, I shouldn't say this, but I know when your father tells you don't, sometimes to make yourself happy, you got to do what you need to do. So I did what I need to do. My father knew that, yeah. So long story short, he had one final rule for me. He goes, you must go to university and graduate. So I had the toughest time going to university because I didn't know what I want. So first year went to engineering, then went to business, then went to economics, then I took psychology, education. I took so many courses that I qualified for the general degree. Because, you're kind of lost, right? And you're just trying to finish it up. And you were taking courses that you kind of like. So after that, of course, I finished graduating. Then I told my dad, I go, Dad, can I do what I want now? And he kind of said, no, I want you to actually kind of do the family business. I said, no. Yeah. So I realized in life, like many of us, especially Atomy, there's going to be a lot of people not happy when you're doing it. Am I correct? And sometimes they're the closest one, right? Let me ask you guys this. I want to see how good you guys are. How many of you got your family to join? Raise your hand. Oh, holy, so little. See, it's a tough one, right? Okay. How many of you got your good friends to join? Wow, not bad. Okay. Well, I'll tell you this. I had a lot of friends, a lot of good friends. I only got one. One. Yeah, it's my high school friend. That was the only one. Everyone else, no, I couldn't get them. Yeah. But you know that one friend that joined? Take a guess, what's his mastership? Correct. See that? So who's the lucky friend? So please share that story next time you talk to a friend or a family member. I heard this guy from Canada. Out of all his friends, that one that joined, he became a star master. He's got income. It's a passive income, right? So vision's very important. I tell a lot of people, you must have vision. When I was young, I had lots of vision. I envisioned myself one day I'll be flying on a plane, like those rich guys you see on TV, flying business class and then going anywhere you like, living in hotels, and then eating at different places, different countries. What am I doing now? Except for one thing, no business class. Right, Samantha? Just kidding. No, Atomy, don't do that. No. But I got to travel, you see? And I got to fly everywhere, try different food, meet tons of people, just like you guys. I'm so happy to meet you all. And I know yesterday and even the EC, the education group, I get to meet and hear your stories. It's wonderful, right? I'm like watching a show that I was in before, right? I'm giving you guys a hint, right? I know some of you guys are having tough times. And, UK here is kind of new, and it's very diverse. Yeah, same. Canada's like that. Yeah. So if you have the vision, that's where it's going to help you. But how many of you can keep that vision? Raise your hand. Okay, that's good. See? We'll ask them next seminar. So you see, it's not that easy. Vision's easy. Everyone can have it. It's almost like a dream, right? It's a dream life. But how are you going to achieve it? I think that's the most critical part, right? So let's take a look. You know, when I first met Atomy, I researched Atomy myself on the internet. I was going, wow, a guy who had no money, sick, drove a really beat up car, had a bunch of people at a restaurant that was almost bankrupt, and then tell them that this company is going to be big. Ask yourself this, if you were, roll back the clock, if you were sitting there, if let's say these front row were those people, because there was actually 21 I heard, minus 3 or 4, and then, you know, the remaining 17, right? If you were one of those people who went to a restaurant, this guy had nothing, no backing, would you join? See, no. You think, is he crazy? But is crazy good? Crazy is a good characteristic, right? If someone ever calls you crazy, I tell you, if it was me, if I saw a member and they're crazy, whoa, good sign, okay? That's a second tip for you guys. So, let me roll back, sorry. So you know Atomy, I still remember first time when we went to the Korea tour, this is back in 2016. The office was kind of tiny. It's just a small little building. Who went to a Korea tour? Is it recent, the last 2 years? Okay. Well, of course it must be. It's UK. How did you like the head office? How did Atomy Korea treat you guys? So good, right? Wow. So the office is gigantic. I actually think it's excellent feng shui. In Chinese, we call it that's good fortune. The building is located on top where you have 360 degree. So our chairman, I tell you this, everything's rolling for him. That's why this company is going to grow. So you guys are part of it. If our chairman grows, does that help you guys? Yes. Of course. Means support. So even Canada, I tell you this, when we joined, Canada was very tiny. The office, no, there was only 2 people there. And not presentable. Right now, you guys got a nice office to go to. But I heard some people are complaining it's a little far, right? It's worth the drive. Go see your CM whenever you need help. Very, very important. That's the third tip today. That's a must, okay? That's one of the biggest secrets is to go to your CM. So the head office now, Atomy Canada, looks good. So that provides a lot of support. And like anyone you share to, especially business or even consumer, if they know at least there's a head office as a presentable one, isn't it better for your business? Yeah. Let me ask you, did you have to pay for it? No, it's free, right? It's already in your package, right? Because your membership, you already know you're UK, and there's a UK office. So for our journey, Rebecca's the one who actually joined, not me. Yeah, but it was actually the product that I needed, and she found it. Yeah, and we paid £3.25 for that product, okay, which is this one. So just remember this one, okay? This is an important one. This is a secret weapon. Because without this, I wouldn't be standing in front of you right now. So after Rebecca joined, she was so passionate about the company. She talked a lot because she really liked this company. She was going, wow, this is a good company, a Korean company, Korean products. And Rebecca is actually in the cosmetic industry. She worked from Shiseido all the way to those companies that were actually managing all these different companies, right? So it was a big one. She would work in the corporate world. But, you know, she felt in the corporate world, she felt lost. That's why she quit in the end. And then when we bumped into this one, but, you know, back in 2015, I can tell you this. A lot of people, if you tell them it's Korean product, no. What is Korean product, right? Back then, there's no BTS, right, guys? We needed these Korean singers and Korean movie stars, these K-drama. Back then, it wasn't hot yet. So that's why it's a lot harder, right? So I still remember when she was sharing it, it was difficult. But I mean, because she has a good background, so that's why she was able to get a lot of people to actually join. Right? And actually, our joining was difficult too, because the sign up was not easy. The requirements, I won't remind people, but it's very strict. There's a lot of info needed. And like most Canadians, or probably like UK people here, same, you're very reluctant to give info, right? Yeah, so the sign-ups are hard. Yeah, so even though the sign-up was hard, Rebecca did okay. But in the 3 months, because she talked too much, she lost her voice. And I'm the one only in the back, like any partner, I just support her. Right? I did all the back office research and everything else for her. Sometimes the ordering and things like that. And, of course, pay the credit card bill. But I did notice my credit card bill was much lower when she started shopping on Atomy. So, that's a good thing, right? But because she lost her voice, I remember they wanted her to go to the first Success Academy in Toronto. So, of course, she lost her voice. She goes, I don't feel well. I don't want to go. So she goes, you go for me. But I didn't have any interest. I just wanted this. And some shampoo. That was it, right? So she sent me to go. I go, okay, I'll go. So I go, okay, I volunteer, I'll go. So I booked the flight, went there, stayed at the hotel. Because Atomy is still kind of small, the hotel that we stayed at back then, no breakfast. So I was going, oh my gosh, I flew it's almost 5.5-hour flight from, west to east, right? Because Toronto's on the other side. And, long day for me. I was working, got on the flight, went there. I just crashed for like 2 hours. And then, the Success Academy, it's an all-day event. It starts really early, okay? So, of course, I woke up really early. I went down. I need to get some food. I couldn't find food. So finally I found, there's a breakfast area. And I went in there, and then the guy goes, your room doesn't include breakfast. Okay, then how do I pay for one, right? And then they say, okay, well, which room are you at? Because it was complex, right? If you didn't book the room, it was a little complex. And then there was this nice Korean man. See that guy right there? Who recognized him? Oh, the one on this side, the checkered shirt. Member number 1. Yeah. When I walked in there, I don't know, he waved at me. Yeah. And then all of a sudden he goes, come over here. He bought me breakfast. Yeah. But he only speaks Korean. So actually there was another lady, she came over and helped translate. So it was great, And then, wow, smiling guys. And you see my finger? Number 1. Because they told me he's the first member. I go, wow. You know how often do you get a chance to meet member number 1? Right? Yeah. And then after breakfast, guess who I meet? So when I walked in the seminar, of course, number 1 greeted me first. And then he introduced me to Chairman. Wow. Do you think that's fate? Yeah. It's interesting how it happened. You know how many people join companies, right? You want to meet the founder and the person who helped the founder. Both in one shot. 0 interest. I was still lost. I was going, what am I getting myself into? Anyways, I met them. I go, wow, nice guy. Of course, already the breakfast is good, right? And then meet the founder. Wow, great. Wow, seems like a nice guy. Look, well dressed. Looks like he lives in France. And then they put me to sit and sat right in the front. I was really tired, right? And I didn't really sleep. So especially back then, Chairman gave lecture live. I felt really bad because I kept falling asleep. And he caught me many times with the piercing eyes. No, just kidding. But long story short, all these things happen, I think, for a reason, right? Because in the back of my mind, throughout the Atomy journey, I always think about this, okay? So, although I sat in the front, I'm falling asleep, guess what they asked me to do? Go on stage. So earlier you guys told me you're scared. I was more scared. I don't know what this company is about. They're asking me to go on stage to talk a testimony. I was so lost. As you can see, look how messy my hair was. Totally not prepared. Looked like I just got out of my, regular work. I just flew, got off the plane, woke up, get on stage, right on stage. Yeah. That's my first speaking. Never ever done public speaking in my whole life. Got thrown in right there. And I had to say something. Holy, the things that came out of me? I was thinking, I am lying so much. See, I'm telling you guys the truth. I don't like doing that. But I had no choice. See, in life, sometimes you don't have choice, right? So, first time speaking, first on stage, and then I tell you this, the whole journey, the first 2.5 years, I was thrown in. We in Canada, we had a lot of seminars, and then the MC would drop out a couple hours before, so I applaud you for staying there. And then they would call me to do it. Yeah, and then, because I never did MC before in my whole life. So, and I don't know the protocol. You guys have a protocol, right? Yeah. So I was right there on the spot, trying to look and learn and do it. So that's my first time officially speaking was MC. Then I did compensation plan. So let me ask you guys this. How do you do compensation plan like a student if they never learn how to do it? I didn't know the compensation plan because every time I came to the seminar with Rebecca, I sat so far back. I think farther back than, your staff. But it's so close to the coffee machine because there's a reason I can keep getting coffee. So I never paid attention, okay? But when they asked me, because they had nobody else to ask, because nobody wanted to do it, right? If someone asked you to do MC right now, would you do it? No. You were like this, oh, no, I'm scared. But they actually begged me, please, we have nobody, but the show must go on. We have 2 hours. We can't find a replacement. There's nobody. Okay, I'll do it. So when I did the compensation plan, I was like, oh my God. I kind of told Rebecca, I said, I don't really know the compensation plan. I saw these slides flying all over the place, and these people talking about money, I was going, oh, geez. Okay, all right, I'll help out. So I did that. I helped out. So by stepping on and taking the challenge, and I did it, of course, the things I say, Angelo, you did an excellent job. Let's give him a hand of applause first. Yeah. Surprisingly, because I did volunteer and I said yes and I did the compensation plan, surprisingly, I couldn't believe it, but a lot of people who watch the seminar, they go, that's a great compensation plan. All the other times I attended, I didn't quite understand. But today, I understand. And I was like, what? What did I say? I was in shock. So sometimes, like I say, maybe it's not yourself. Maybe you don't need the confidence. But sometimes there's that divine person upstairs. Okay? He's already go, you know what? You need to do something. And he's already assigned that task. And I found it very amazing that, these seminars kept appearing for me. I know a lot of people, they love to be on stage and speak because that's one of maybe their passion. Maybe it's their career, like, they love direct sale. But for me, actually, I never liked direct sale. There's the M word, the MLM, nope. I get scared. Do you guys know why you would get scared? Who had a bad experience? I never joined any, okay? But the bad experience, I can tell you this. First, they call you all the time, right? Do you guys do that? Uh-oh. And then after they join you, is there a lot of meetings? Yes, right? Lots of meetings, right? Yeah. And then lots of people, right? Lots of seminars, right? Does it feel like you're being pushed and forced? Yeah. Whoops. Well, I tell you this, because I didn't like all those things. I got introduced to so many direct sales you wouldn't even believe. And I had to be forced to attend a lot of the seminars because they were my customers, so it's a relationship. So when they want you to hear something, you go, okay, okay. And a lot of times they tell you it's only 2 hours long, right, guys? And usually how long is it? It's long, right? And it's always rah, 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 this and that, right? Oh, my gosh. So I'm scared of those things. So being someone who's scared, what do you think about this company for me? I'm scared. Yeah, I was very scared. So I don't know why, but the speaking opportunity kept coming. When we became Diamond Master, they asked for an English speaker because it was going to a country that wasn't so safe. Rebecca's actually supposed to go. So instead, she goes, why don't you go? So I got sent. So the first time to speak. So even Diamond Masters, you see, there's opportunity. This is back then, so it is good. And it was a lot of people. It's over 1,500, I remember. Yeah. And it's good and Malaysia just opened. So I got to see what it's like in a different country. And you wouldn't believe, I tell you this, Malaysia loves direct sale. And they're crazy. I'm not kidding you. It's good. But in Canada, look at our attendance. I'll tell you this, because we didn't have speakers sometimes, so they would ask me to do it. So I'll tell you one time I went to, Edmonton? It's very cold, right? Minus 40. Yeah, it was November, it's like late one. I still remember because the head office staff that went with me, he always talked to me about that one. And we always think, how many people came to the seminar? Take a guess, guys. Whoa, that many? Lower. No, just kidding. Lower. You know what the funny story was? It was minus 40. And it started snowing. So me and the staff was going, oh no. Is anyone going to show up? Am I just going to be talking to you? And then 2 people strolled in. 2. Yeah. Oh, you should have seen when the first one came in. Whoa, we were so happy. Oh, yes, we got an audience now. That's how it works, right? You just need 1. So remember that. If 1 person even shows up, you got it. There's your audience. Yeah! That's tip number 4. It's not how many people that show up. It's the one that's important that shows up, right? So remember, if you're inviting and you think there was going to be 20 or 50 that's going to come, if even 1 shows up, value that 1 person that showed up. Give it all your attention to him, right? Yeah. So the opportunity kept coming. There were so many speaking. Of course, Rebecca's a speaker, right, guys? Yeah. She's very passionate the way she talks, right? Me, because I never studied, bad student. And of course, I got lectured by Rebecca many, many times, right? She goes, you better take it seriously. You know you're talking on stage. And I was going, I know, but it's kind of hard. I don't have the interest, I told her. I just don't have it. Right? Opportunity keep coming. Like I said, sometimes I don't know why, but it's a good thing, right? Because you're hearing the truth, right, guys? There's no lies here. And it just kept coming. Even last year, I was a little bit tired. There was a lot of speaking. So when you understand this company, it is a network company, and it just keeps expanding. A lot of people have to understand that this is something beyond what you think, that just 1 step at a time. That 1 step, if you make that 1 step, it can connect to so many other steps that can come into your life. But I want to cut in here and talk about something about economy. Because most of us, we don't think about what's past. But for me, because I'm raised in a generation of course, the pagers. Who remember the pagers? Oh my. Oh, you guys were more advanced than us, right? You know how pagers became cell phones? Yeah, during that stage, right? Yeah, so cell phones wiped out pagers, right? And then the pagers, only doctors used them, right? And then remember there's BlackBerry and all these other things that came on. And then now it's only iPhone, Samsung, and all these other ones, right? So the world keeps changing, right? By the way, I have a whole collection of pagers and cell phones. Yeah. And then, do you guys go to McDonald's or these fast food? Yeah, if you travel around the world, I tell you, all these fast food now, they have what's called kiosks. So kiosks replace people, right? So are jobs getting less? Less, yeah. And even if you travel other parts of the world, they now have taxis without drivers. Is that scary? No, come on. You guys have Tesla. Right? So a lot of cars are becoming automated too, yes. So you can see no driver. So you see, all these things are changing our life. So supposedly, all these are convenience. It makes your life easier. You have more time, am I correct? But let me ask you this. Do you feel like you have more time? No. What happened? You're busier than ever. And I tell you this, most of the time you're busy with nonsense stuff, right? Because, that's the enticement. Yeah. So if the world's changing, are you going to wait around or are you going to do something as a security, like a backup? Most of us are not ready for the future. And I tell you this, because what's happening lately, the world changed because of COVID. Also because now we also have AI that's, coming in very, very strong. I gotta say, here it's still back in time, so it's holding out. But over in North America, oh, it's happening really fast. So if you're not gonna keep up with the time, what's gonna happen, right? Even nowadays, a lot of the fresh grads coming out of university, I don't know how they're gonna get a job. It's very difficult. Most companies, they wouldn't need to hire so many people, right? So why Atomy? I'm still doing this occupation, investment real estate, for quite a lot of years, right? That's not a small amount of years, right? Yeah. So I'm one of those seasoned guy. Let me ask you this. When I try to share the products, do you think people think I'm crazy? Yeah. You probably had that, right? You probably talked to some lawyer or some accountant or, doctors even, right? It's hard, right? Because they will say no, right? Especially when any professional does anything else, it actually means that guy's no longer professional, correct? And it's true. Yeah, my customers said that to me. They said, am I crazy? Just being so unprofessional, doing this thing. Even I said, oh no, I'm just helping Rebecca. But no, once you create a scar, it's there. So for them, they didn't like it. And to me, I was looking at the fact that, interesting, right? All these years I helped especially these customers, but because of one incident like this, which doesn't even harm them, they judged me, right? So actually, I was very upset inside. I was not happy. I was going, wow. So there is actually no relationship. The relationship can end just like that. Boom. Because of one thing. Like I said, if we didn't open the account and have this 3.25 pound item, we wouldn't have this right now, right? So I tell a lot of people, if let's say now you see ours, earlier you mentioned about the 10 years, right? So you see, we've been doing Atomy 9 years. So if back then we didn't invest into one of these to open the free account, we wouldn't have that type of income, right? Which I'll explain a little bit about the income. So a lot of people go, how can this free account really earn so much money? You know, one of the things is when you try to convince people, talk to people even about the products or even about the business, you always have difficulty, right? Especially the ones that don't have the knowledge or they have a stigma. But I always tell them, I go, you know, irregardless of a stigma or whatever, do you have a lot of bills to pay? Everyone should raise their hand. I think nowadays everyone have more bills than ever, right? And the bills keep growing, am I correct? That's inflation. So why not have something to offset it? So I did a little research while I was here. Your minimum wage is depending, right? There's a range, but the average is around, I think, what, 11.5 pound, right? And then your current interest rates are 5, right? Or 5 and a bit, right? It's quite high, it says on the news, right? So a lot of people are having difficulty, right? Yeah, I know. This is happening all around the world. So I always tell a lot of people, do you have any additional money coming in? Don't need to say big ones because people don't believe big money coming in. Those are all called what? Scams, right? Yeah. So if you say little ones, like, you know, hey, 76 pound, 300 pound, 550 pound, or 1,000 pound, that's very believable, right? So I always ask people, everyone invests, right? What's the cost to invest in Atomy? It's free. It's just time, right? All it costs is your opportunity time. That's the cost. So when we started Atomy, my mother-in-law, she was trying to retire from her hairdressing salon, which used to be a hairdressing school, which I helped her set up before. And Rebecca was helping to run it. So while we were doing the Atomy, that time, we shared it in the salon. So we had a lot of good customers that came in, and they were very supportive. So they were okay. That's why they joined, and they tried the products. And then we opened our first center. Yeah. And it wasn't the nicest center. So please remember, if anyone ever comes to you and mentions about your sponsor center or your own center, just let them know, you know, why don't you go open a center? Why don't you go commit to a lease, right? Why don't you go spend all that money? You know, this is what I can do right now to support my people, right? And I'm making that commitment. How much do you think a commitment's worth? It's a lot, right? And very tough times we had was getting people to come to the center and learn. Our average was like 2 people. It's very difficult, yeah, to get anybody to come. So even like this success, wow, this is very good. So I'm going to show you a little timeline so you understand the story a little more clear. When you joined, we were about 2015, okay? Rebecca became sales master in June. And then there's a reason why we had to become Diamond Master, which I won't mention. For the center, you guys got that story. So there's a reason why we had to become Diamond Master, and then that's also when we opened the center. And then you see there's a part where it goes, look, when I officially decided to join Atomy to help her. And that's about 2 years later, 2017, okay? And after I joined her, then we achieved Sharon Rose Master in a few months. And then the next year, Star Master. And then take note of that box in the blue. So in 2020, what happened in 2019, guys, in November? Okay? The whole world, what happened in 2020? Lockdown, right? Were you guys allowed to go out? So for most people during the lockdown, what did you guys do? Netflix, right, guys? YouTube, right? That was the most enjoyable time, most relaxing, right? You just enjoy life, yeah? But during that time, 2020, when it was lockdown, it's an opportunity. I pounded the phone. I called everyone. Everyone that even I know, everyone I tried to approach before that said no to me, or everyone that joined as a consumer, I reached out to them by phone. Do you know when you call somebody, when everyone's in a lockdown, when you call them on the phone, instead of messaging them, right? Do you know how happy they are when they hear your voice? It's like they were in prison. Now someone just came and saw them through the phone, right? So when I called them, everyone's so happy. Talk, spend like an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, doesn't matter, okay? Next thing you know, they go, oh, yeah, I have that account, but I didn't know you guys have so many products. I just go, really? But then you start talking about it. Next thing you know, they all start ordering, right? And then some people started doing the business. I'll talk about the Royal Master later. So let me jump to the next one. So a lot of people say that year is the most difficult year, right? But that year was our best year because in that year, look at the date. We achieved Leaders Club and Royal Leaders Club in a single year. Yeah. So 2 income jump. It did not, usually to calculate Leaders Club, you need 6 months, right? We actually did it in less than 11 months. That was how powerful the momentum was. I'll explain a little bit about it right now. So Leaders Club, how to qualify, is in 6 months, you need to earn half of that. So 30,000 pounds, okay? So in the 6 months, if your income can reach that, great. Education center doesn't count, okay? Your promotion gift money doesn't count, okay? Only the bonus and general commission, okay? So, of course, I see here, UK, you guys don't have that yet, but you never know, right? So during that time when I called everybody, everyone started buying. Volume came in very, very strong. The more calls I made, the more they were buying. So it was a very good investment, right? Pounding the phone. I actually didn't sleep. I was on the phone all night long. 24 hours, I slept only 2 for literally the whole year, okay? But let me ask you this. If I told you, if you only sleep 2 hours a day, so you maximize your time, and you were able to get all this results, would you do it? Of course, right? Because I thought, you know what? This is a good chance, good opportunity. So after we got the leaders, we were like, yeah, wow. And then, of course, Rebecca we were talking, and I still remember we also talked to head office. They were saying, it's hard to get the next one, right? They said, usually you need time and all these other things, right? But I told Rebecca when we went back home, I said, no. I said, I'm not going to stop right here. I'm going to keep going. It already went so well, why would I stop, right? I just have to do the phone some more. Next thing you know, I kept working on the phone. Supposedly, it does take at least minimum another 6 months to qualify. But because the momentum was so good, when you keep the momentum going, bam, we achieved it in just the 5 months, the next 5 months. So the next pin, to qualify, in the 6 months, you need to make 60,000 pounds. So look at the rise. This is actually possible because we did it, right? And it wasn't like I was calling the members or my leaders. I actually wasn't even calling them. I was just calling a lot of the consumers and getting new business people on board. That's what I was doing. So basically, it was everybody below. And it's all rushing up, right? Because you see how rush it was, right? Boom. So when this rush came in, it was a big effect. Yeah. So we were very shocked. Yeah. And I remember, too, the company has the announcements, right? And I still remember they said it takes time for Korea to acknowledge it because, but then right away when we actually got this, because it was so fast and so unique, they just wanted to announce, so it tells a lot of people anything's possible in this company. Yeah. So the next one, of course, the Crown Leaders pin. That one's a little bit more harder, of course. Your income has to hit in the 6 months 120,000 pounds. You know, let me ask you guys this. Is even the first one, Leaders Club one, is that a good income? Yeah, it is. Especially it's an income that keeps coming by itself, right? Yeah, it is. So I did some research on Forbes, and this is what they kind of said, right? You notice the ones in the 40 to 49, those are the seasoned people, right? Like the senior guys, right? So that's why they're able to earn the income around, 40,000 pounds, the annual income. So if you look at the leaders pin, just even the first one, you passed these guys by a lot. So is it worth to strive for it? Yes. Yeah. I have to talk about this one because this one actually helped change me. You saw earlier, let me go back a little bit. So this is a revival meeting that's held in Philippines when we went there, and chairman was there, and Mr. Yun, number one, was there. You can see the picture of Rebecca's right there. I'm the cameraman, by the way. Yeah, so let me roll back the clock here. Let's go back here. So in 2016, that's when we went to Philippines. They were just open. And after the Success Academy, the grand opening, there was a revival meeting. So we attended it. And I still remember sitting there. I'm still a confused guy, a very confused guy. So while I was looking at the screen and looking at the word revival, it kind of touched me. It kept resonating something to me. It was telling me I need to change my life. So after this incident, for the next year, that's when I was reviewing myself. I said, I really need to change myself. I mean, yeah, I can work for the rest of my life. I'm good at what I'm doing. But am I really contributing to anything? And I really thought seriously about it. And I said, I don't think I'm doing anything for anyone, really. Customers can leave me. All these things can just leave me, right? So before I, get too old, I should do something to contribute. And those words stuck in my mind. So that's the first thing is I made that commitment to help Rebecca. And because she was going through, I understand for some of you who don't have sponsors or you don't have help, it's very difficult, right? It is, right? We had a lot of difficulty when our earlier years doing Atomy. And Rebecca was going through a lot. And watching your partner go through that, it hurts me. It hurts my heart. So I made that decision. I said, you know what? When you make that vow already that you're going to do everything together, I said, you know what? I got to step in, and I got to do this too. So that's why 2017, I made that solid commitment. I actually said, I'm going to get this to the finish line. That's even what I told her, right? And as you can see, like any journey, don't expect it's just going to appear right in front of you. You got to work hard. In life, there's nothing easy. If you get it easy early, guess what? You're going to have something bad. That's how the guy upstairs always sends it to you. So for us, because we had it really hard, it'll get easier. So actually, it works better because I was younger, so I can handle the hardness earlier. I'll tell you guys this. I am older. In a few more years, I'm going to hit 60, and, it's going to get harder for me. And I don't want to be facing, I know what you guys are facing right now. Definitely do it while in your earlier stage. Push yourself. You can achieve it. You can do it. So in my mind, I always think Atomy is an investment. Do you know why it's a good investment, guys? Any money that comes is a good investment because it's money, right? You shouldn't complain whether it's just, 40 pounds or, maybe 80 pounds, whatever. Any dollar value is good, right? Ask yourself this right now, nobody's going to give you money, right? So if money comes in, it's a good thing. So I know a lot of people, they look at this one, they go, well, what about the insurance? Well, we already know. I'm going to talk to you about the insurance in a bit. And of course, everyone thinks achieving this is a dream. Well, I'm right here. I'm a proof. It's not a dream. It's all possible. I feel Atomy is like, for those of you who trade stocks, because, many of us, we know about how stock companies are. All these big companies are all made from stocks, right? Atomy, I feel, is like a stock. It's a free one that you got when you open your free account, right? So let me ask you this. This free investment, this stock, what do you think is going to give you guys if you focus on sharing it, right? Your free stock is like a share, and you actually get dividends, right? So if you view it in that point, you go like, hey, I already invested in this free account. So if I share it, it will grow. The more I do it, I think it'll grow even more, right? So to be successful, I tell you this, my journey in Atomy, because I learned everything by what's thrown to me. So even 8 Steps of Success, there's actually, I think there's 2 videos. You guys can search it on YouTube. A lot of people watched it. I never watch myself, guys. Because I don't know what I say on stage. And sometimes I don't want to hear myself. So I don't watch myself. But the 8 Steps of Success is a very good one to watch. Life scenario is excellent. That's very important. We're going to do that in a bit. Balanced life. A lot of people ask, how do you achieve balanced life? It's hard. Balanced life is you have everything, right? That's why it becomes balanced, right? You have time, right? You complain about time. You have money, right? You need money, right? And then freedom. All those things. Atomy can give you all that. So the key is you need to achieve Auto Sales Master. Our chairman's video, Auto Sales Master, is excellent. Almost all my learning is watching the videos from our company. Yeah. I loved it when they translated the Korean ones and have the subtitle. That really helped me. I was always waiting for those translation ones, right? So now it's even better. They have the voice adaptation, right? So please, those are all in your channel. You can go to different countries and learn, right? So your free time, instead of watching, Netflix, YouTube, or those K-dramas, cut some of those time out. Just cut one drama, because there's so many episodes, right? And watch the Atomy K-drama. Yeah. And what I find is, the last point, I find it actually helped me improve myself. And because I'm improving in myself, and all this balanced life, everything was coming to me, guess what happens to my members? They feel the same way. And a lot of them experience it too. So that's how powerful this company is. It's not me, just the one standing on stage. Achieving Royal Master, even these Leaders Club, Royal Leaders Club, it's not just me. That just means there's many people below me also achieving it. And that's what the end result is. It's a group effect, right? So it helps a lot of people. So this binary system connecting to a lot of countries, you guys are lucky. You know why? Who's your neighbor? There you go. And how many countries there? Yeah. When we did Canada, all the other countries are so far away. So travel time's hard, right? You guys are what, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours? Those are easy, right? So like most of us, when we first start, it's 2 straight lines, right? And the next thing you know, it starts breaking out. Because other people down in your lineage, they want to earn additional money. So as it keeps going, you can't even see, right? I remember when we first started, we can see everything. And you know how you can control everything, right? Are you guys all control freaks? There was a couple I met yesterday. No, just kidding. No. Just remember, I know there's a lot of people that comes into your life in Atomy, and sometimes they're not the ones you found. It's okay if you don't know them. If they disappear, it's fine. That is how it is, right? But the ones sometimes they appear, and you're able to connect with them, then that's great too, right? And if they stay, that's excellent, right? And that's how it is. That's how Atomy is going to be for all of you guys. So as you can see, a lot of times when you guys first start, you see these called hits, right? Where these 2 zeros. That's when you get paid, when you see the 2 zeros. So you get conditioned. So you love to see the 2 zeros in your, when you go into your account. Well, let me ask you guys this. Did you guys have to pay for the system? No. Do you have to hire an accountant or some guy to help you manage it? No. It's all done on your system. Is that a saving? There you go. And you can access it where? Everywhere in the palm of your hands, right? Most company, you have to pay for the app. See, there's a cost. No cost. So here, just to show you, when we all pretty much start, especially the business guys, I know you don't hit the 5 points, you hit the 15 points, right? So you get the 40, like the 40 pound, right? So just like us, we all experience this. In the beginning, you hit this one. But next thing you know, it keeps growing. The hits no longer hits those minimum ones. So even like myself, when we first joined, even I remember, I was thinking in my head, oh my God, how do you hit these things? Wow, how do you reach? I'm always scared when it says 1 million. So you see the one that says grade 5, the 1.5 million? I was going, wow, that's actually a good payout. That's a good one for, just walking around, having coffee and money still come in. Wow, that's pretty good, right? I said, I would like that. I think that one is achievable. And I remember in the beginning, I said, that's probably going to be my max. Well, you know what happens when you hit the next one? So even like ourselves right now, these are the only ones we're hitting as it keeps growing. So like that free stock, because you open the account, this is the possible outcome. And like Angelo says, I'm sorry, they have to cap you. The maximum is 810 that one day. That's all you're going to get, not including bonus, okay? So this is all possible. These green arrows is showing you. So one day, especially I know here, you guys are starting to, some of you becoming sales masters and then auto sales masters when you build towards it. This is what's exactly going to keep moving forward. That's all in your chart, in your system. So when you look at this and you look at the dealer at 162, this is a point I always tell a lot of people, this is an achievable point. Meaning it's not something that's too extravagant. Like, a lot of people go, oh no, you 50 million PVs, no, you never see it, right? You think that's not possible, right? Well, that's why you set something that's easier. 1.5 is always, that's like in the middle, you see? Where it's positioned? So when it's something in the middle, you always look at it, you go, oh, it's possible. It looks possible. So when it looks possible, that's your vision. What you can see and what your vision can accept. So for me, that was the goal that I set. So if you set a goal like that, you'll achieve it. I know many people say, no, you got to set that high goal, the maximum goal. Well, sometimes you're setting the finish line. It's kind of far. So if you don't get there in time, you kind of like doubt it. But at least this one, you can get close, right? Look, it's only 1, 2, 3, and then you hit it. So it's close enough. So as you can see, income's pretty good in pound. When you hit, let's say, the Sharon Rose, right? When you become an auto Sharon Rose. Actually, that's a very good income when you hit auto Sharon Rose. So that, again, is in the middle, you see? That's a solid one coming in. And the reason why is whatever you build, like this free stock that you have, you know what's the benefit of it? One of the second reason why I actually did Atomy is I said, wow, if I build this for Rebecca, I also have 2 adult kids. Not only is she set, but my next 2 generation, the 3 generation total, right, is set. It's an insurance. So like for those of you who have kids and adult kids, my kids watched the journey. They saw it from the beginning. They kind of thought we were crazy. We're doing so much time and, answering the phone, especially during COVID, dad's going nuts, calling everybody. No one calls. That's what my son said to me. No one calls, Dad. You should just message them. I go, no. I need to call them. If I message them, I think I'll go nuts. My fingers will crack. And my kids saw the end result. They saw Rebecca climbing. They saw Rebecca's income climbing. And you know what they said? They're both, graduate from university. They got good jobs. They said, it's incredible. I can't believe how income can climb like that. They go, I've never seen it before like that. And I said, that's why, because, I put you to school not for you to be in the school system. I put you to school is just so you can have the basics, because when you go in the real world, it's totally different. And you gotta adopt and you gotta learn and you gotta improvise. I go, now you see why we did this. And I go, do you know how powerful this account is? And I told them, I go, if ever, like when we're old, if mom's not around, based on current transfer of this account, even if we ask the company to just transfer to both of you, 50-50, it's more money than you ever earn. And they actually said, wow. So because my kids knows that, they saw it, they said, oh, wow, so do I need to really strive? I go, no, now you can do all the things that you like. You can do more contribution, help more people, right? Choose, different type of career. You don't have to choose the one that's money anymore, because there's a big insurance left for them already, right? And my kids, both of them chose to help. Yeah, they choose to go do occupations that help people instead. As a parent, I'm telling you guys this. That's something I couldn't even ask for. Guiding kids is one of the toughest. Especially, I had a really tough time guiding my Atomy kids. Some of them were old, some of them were young, they don't listen, they want to do their own thing. These are all the things you're going to experience. In Atomy, what I found, it wasn't just about the business. My reason for joining Atomy, the first reason was to help Rebecca. My second reason is I loved our chairman's platform. He's really there to help everyone. Just like here right now, I'm sharing you guys my story. I hope it can help you guys move forward. Or next time if there's another, you have a business member, and when they're in doubt, they can come, they can listen to the story. Because, this is what it is. I'm from Canada, and this is what happened. It's a tough country to do Atomy. I know UK, you guys are similar, right? Who says UK is tough? No? Oh, okay. Tough or not tough, you're the tough one. You can do it, right? So because my kids already said, wow, Dad, that's a big insurance policy you're giving us. And I told them when we reach the finish line, because my son asked me, what is the finish line? I said, in Atomy, no one's achieved that final finish line yet, how Imperial Master. You need to be auto Imperial Master, right? So no one's officially there yet. But I told him what's the current high income, and my son goes, wow, half of that is like so much. I said, yes, you will be taxed a lot. So, like anything, I told you it's a stock, right, guys? Look at the stock. It only goes up, right? We look at charts, right? This is a good chart. And you guys are all here, already all members, right? So you already got the stock. Balanced life, that will come already. On your road to this journey, you will start getting this balanced life. So don't worry about it. Atomy is rewriting the whole network. I'm telling you, I've been to so many. I listened to so many seminars. It's scary. This one, I gotta say, it's pretty good. Every time I attend seminars, it's great. I learn a lot. Just like today, I learned from you guys. Yeah. So, life scenario, please, you must do it. It's very important because life scenario is something that's, I tell you this, by writing it and your vision sees it, you're embedding it in your mind, okay? The reason why I tell you guys to do the life scenario, because I was a bad one. You know that first success? You want to hear the story? I know this is recorded, right? It'll be on channel UK, right? So my first time when I went there, because the seminar was so intense, and I had to go on stage and everything, and then usually the last half is writing the life scenario. When I got that paper, I was so lost. I couldn't do it. And then you know how they have these leaders walking around and going, they're pointing at you. You got to do it, right? But don't worry, I won't do that to you guys. So I actually snuck off. In the hotel, I went to the gym. Yeah. But I kept the paper with me. Yeah. So I couldn't do the life scenario for the longest time. Because every time I look at it, blank. Or I can do 1, 2, can't do it. Nothing's coming out. Like I'm forcing myself. But the day, I tell you this, the day that I was able to complete it is also the day after I decided to help Rebecca. That was how amazing it was. I couldn't believe it. All of a sudden, I filled it all up. And I still kept the picture of that one. I know I did a presentation for the company once about the life scenario. They asked me to do it. They didn't choose a good, loyal student to do it, okay? I'm not a good one because it took me that long. How many of you finished your life scenario on the first shot? Oh? Okay. Did you guys ever finish your life scenario? Good. And you're within the 2 years. It's okay. You're better than me. So my first one completing is like 2.5 years. But what I wrote in the life scenario, it all appeared. So our chairman said that in his video, right? And it's true. It will happen. So I recommend that to all of you. Please do the life scenario, okay? Oops, sorry, let me go back to this one. So actually this one, when I drew this one, is because I went to the Malaysia Success Academy, the very first one. And I saw these Malaysian leaders achieving this right away. So I was going, what's a Star Master? Can you believe it? I'm a Sharon Rose Master. I don't know what a Star Master is. Because, already I go Sharon Rose Master was enough. Yeah. So when I sat there, which actually I sat in the front, of course, they gave me a front seat. I'm very lucky, just like these people. I flipped over the life scenario, and I started drawing that. Yeah, I was figuring out how to become a Star Master. And then I was calculating the PVs too and everything. I was going, holy smoke, this is crazy, right? But by writing it, it's kind of like the life scenario. I drew it, I calculated, and then I looked at these Malaysian idols. I was going, wow, a whole bunch of them achieving this. I go, wow, this is good. Is it possible? I go, it must be. They're standing there, right? So after you draw it, guess what happens? It happens in your chart. Yeah, it started appearing, okay? So for those of you who want to achieve the next level, my tip to you is draw it out, okay? And then I remember when we were deciding to think about, becoming Royal Master, we also drew it out. And I was going, oh, you can't do it on the little paper anymore. You need a big paper because it gets pretty big. Yeah. And actually, when you actually do these runs, so many more people come on board. I remember this is just the minimum amount of what you need. So I remember when we were going through this, it's a lot more. So there's a lot of them coming on board. And that's a chain reaction, okay? I'm not ready yet to draw the next chart. Because it is stressful to draw that chart. Because I think I need a lot of poster paper. So our company motto, very important, guys, right? This is something that I would say, this is the secret in how you can succeed in this company, okay? So please, please look into this company motto. Follow this company motto. Whenever you have doubt, whenever you're not happy, sad, depressed, whatever, look into our company motto. That will be the main reason why you need to continue to keep going, okay? System income, Atomy, I gotta say, they created a very good one. I see so many people successful now. So many people earning income. Whether it's little or a lot, it matters. And our platform, I gotta say, Synergy platform. And now you guys are so lucky, you got the Synergy product. Yeah. So please learn about it. There's lots of good YouTube videos to help you guys to learn about it. You know, there's many factors that affect you, especially in your life and also in how you're going to do Atomy business. But just remember, that's all going to be part of your journey. So like any life scenario, for those of you who, you know, sometimes you go, oh, you know what, I'm not ready to write the life scenario. I suggest to you, just write notes. Notes are very good. And please do it on paper and then post it on the wall that you know you're always going to look at, because that will be a good reminder. Because when you put in your smartphone, it gets deleted. Just like those photos, right? Yeah. And you know, our company has compassion. Wow, it's a really good one, I gotta say, right? It does a lot. Yeah. So, you know, because of Rekas have always helped a lot and really loves compassion. And, you know, even me, I try to attend all the, not only the company's academies wherever I go, but also, you know, whenever they have opportunity with the revival, I try to attend. You know, for us, the dream actually has come true already. It only took 9 years, so it's less than the 10 years, what you're saying. So it's possible, right? Yeah. And I tell you this, please research it. Lady, she used to be called the Red Jacket Lady. She's really lucky. Yeah. Her story is really good, okay? And, you know, she's Imperial Master now. Yeah. And when we got our ceremony, she was actually there too. So it was great to see her. Yeah. So Atomy, please be crazy, right? Some people, look, they're so crazy, they have the license plate. Can you guys do that in UK? Oh, now everyone's going to go fight for it, right? Him or him, right? And of course, how do you become a good leader? You got it. So I'm going to share to you, before we close off, some little secret, okay? So let me just jump to it. Before we go to that big secret, I want to tell you, I'm very lucky because Atomy gave me an opportunity to do something that I always wanted to do. Something I said to myself as a young adult, I want to do a lot of, find these people who need help. And they were in different countries. So I started that as a mission for myself on the side. Because of Atomy, it allowed me to do it. So I was able to locate these type of people where they're taking care of foster kids or tsunami kids in a small village because they don't get support, right? He just lives there. So this guy too, we actually bought, I asked the kids what did they want as like a present, right? They say they never tried bubble tea. So we ordered bubble tea for them. And it's like 3 hours away to ship it over. But you know, when they got the bubble tea, they were so happy. Yeah, so you know, something like that, it really helps, right? Yeah. And then I continue to do different ones in different countries. Okay, that's in Malaysia. And then, you know, because in the Atomy journey, now you can actually even sometimes donate products to certain people who need it. So I donated, you know, our famous one. Yeah. And then even countries that were not open, because, you know, I was going there to see how it is and check out the head office there. I also went there and do some other, you know, help, the missionary help. Yeah. And of course, this is a senior home. It's all mentally challenged. So we were there helping them. And I actually made a giant donation to them. I actually asked a lot of my members who are from Vietnam to help me bring in the toothbrush and the toothpaste. Yeah. These were because they were seniors who were 80 years and up, who were mentally challenged. So one of the key things is they get a lot of mouth problem, right? And you know how powerful our toothpaste is? You got it. Yeah. So I donated a lot of that to them. Yeah. So actually the lady, she was very happy because she got donation with food, diapers, and all those things. But she goes, I always wanted this. But she goes, it's so expensive. And I said, don't worry about it. It's not expensive. I said, I have access. I can help you. Yeah, so. And of course, you guys met this guy before, right? Yeah, Jason Sim. Yeah, I still remember when we started. I remember when we were Diamond Masters. I met him. He's Sharon Rose Master. So you know now he's Crown Master, right? And look, Royal Master. So I think next time we need to get the next picture. No, just kidding. So pictures help, guys. So be creative. So one thing I can see, take a look at the picture on the left. Just like you guys, I applaud the ones that's helping at the front desk. I used to do that. And I was kind of bored, so look what I did with the probiotics. Oh, sorry, biotics, right? Yeah, I turned it into Atomy. And then, of course, I went to Taiwan to attend seminars. But I want to point this one out. It can help you guys. So like anyone, sometimes you lose your drive, right, guys? Yeah. But you know, I just said the secret is the company motto and also attend seminars. So for myself, it was very hard to attend the seminars when you're not out there, right? So I made a goal for myself. I said, you know what? I'm going to collect stars. What kind of stars am I collecting, guys? Atomy Star Masters. Yeah, back then they were only Star Masters, I remember. There was no Royal yet. So there was always whole bunch of stars. So I made myself go to many seminars, wherever it is, one day or wherever, if I'm traveling in the States, I'll attend the seminar. And I would go there, you know what? I need to collect my stars. So I went there, took the picture. And you know, when can you take the picture, guys? Actually, usually it's at the end of the seminar. Today's an exception, okay? But usually it's always at the end of the seminar. So what you do is, that means you must sit there and listen, right? So my biggest tip for you guys, create a way that can make you go. I started collecting, I have a whole collection. I can't even show you, it's big. Yeah, I collected so many stars. After the star, I collected royal stars. And then I collected some crown stars. And then, you know, like I said, it's endless, right? Yeah. So that can really help you guys. You know, the biggest enemy that you guys all face, you know, is yourself, right? So every day, every morning, every night, when you look at the mirror, please remember, that's the person that can take you down. But that's also the person that can lift you up. So please talk to that person. Doesn't matter whether it's good time or bad time, talk to that person. That's the person that can get you there to the finish line, because you need to do it together, okay? And I like the Star Master back then. He has a really good phrase. You know, let's all stand up and let's all say this. I think we can all do it, okay, guys? All right, that's a good stretch too, right? Okay, are you guys ready? Yes. Let's do this. Go. I can do it. You can do it. We can do it. Let's go. Thank you guys for inviting me here today. I had a great time. I hope my story can really help you guys move forward, okay? Good luck to you all. Thank you again.